Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make black beans perfect every single time. So for starters, what you're going to do is just take your black beans, put them down on a napkin, lie them out, pull out all the bad pieces, rocks, etc. And then from there, on the napkin, you just curl up all the sides, and put it into a strainer. Then you're gonna spend time and really just clean it very well before you're gonna soak it. Okay, so I've separated my beans, I've cleaned them thoroughly, and I've placed them in the crock pot to soak for the overnight. You need about 8 hours to let it soak. So what you're gonna do is, obviously after you cleaned it, you picked everything out, you're going to put your ingredients in whatever you want to soak it in, throw in some salt, actually quite a bit of salt. You're gonna be washing it out after it's soaked anyway, so the salt just helps it stay softer. From there, you're just going to fill it up with water at least an inch high. Alright, so I got my water filled. I'm going to let this sit overnight. For this I'm using 4 cups of black beans, and you do have to use a slow cooker to stay consistent with it. Using a pressure pot, you can definitely get great results, but for me personally, the consistency I only get with a pressure pot is when I make feijoada, which is a lot more ingredients than just the black beans themselves. So if you want to stay consistent, I do recommend getting a slow cooker and doing it the way I show you to get it perfect every single time. Now that the beans have sat for at least 8 hours, my next step here is to drain them, clean up this pot, and then put them back in there and get them ready to be cooked. Alrighty, now that I've got them clean, I clean out the pot, I throw it back in the pot. I'm going to add 3 bay leaves. You can add other seasonings at this point if you want to add pepper, garlic powder, etc. Don't add salt unless it's towards the end within the last hour, because it will change everything. For me, I'm not going to add any other seasoning than the bay leaf because I do the seasonings at the end. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and fill it up with water. Same thing as before, about an inch over. Alright, so I filled up my water with my bay leaves. Make sure your slow cooker is plugged in. I'm going to do low for 8 hours. You can do high for 4 to 6 hours. Low 8 to 10 hours. The way you're going to tell is that the beans are going to be nice and you can just squish them basically. They're not going to be hard anymore. And then they'll be ready. Alright, I want to show you as it cooks, you do get a reduction on the top. I don't leave it there, I skim it off. You can skim it off or leave it on there. It's really up to you. But just come in between, just skim it off, take it off just like that. Alright, I've cooked everything. And how you tell when the beans are done, you can just take them out and you squish them. They squish really easily. Now what I like to do is I like to make it thick like the sauce, so this step you can skip if you're removing the water, or if you want to keep the water and you make it thick. This is what you do. I took about a cup of beans out. Now I did start with 4 cups, so about doubles when they soak and get bigger. And then I sauteed some garlic and onions, add a little water, salt and pepper to taste, and then you just take it, take those things, put it inside your food processor. The usual, you pulse a couple times, and then from there you let it go, and then it turns into a nice puree. Now I've set the crock pot for another hour, and then I'm going to add my puree. There's just a whole bunch of flavor that's in there. Now you're going to let it cook for another hour and just basically do a taste for salt and pepper. Make sure you put in enough. You're just going to want these flavors to go out. Now the garlic's been browned, a little bit of onions. It really changes the flavor of everything and makes it really awesome. So yeah, you just mix in your puree, let it sit in there for 1 more hour. Let all the flavors infuse in there. And then I'll show you the final product. Alright, they've set for a little bit after the hour was cooked. There they are, they're nice, cooked, beautiful. I portion these out, I freeze them and then put them in my little slow cooker so I can eat every day because I eat beans pretty much all the time.
In reference to the gassiness part, there's like a seaweed you can buy that's like called cobam or something that you can put in there that works out really well, that everybody recommends. I eat beans so much so I don't get gas anymore. But beyond that, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Make perfect black beans all the time. Like, subscribe, and make a meal out of it.